better daily, where we work hard in our minds, bodies, and our spirits to become 1% better every single day. Download the app and join our Betterment family at betterdaily.live to catch the video version of these podcasts. Here's your host and my dad, Alex Van Houten.
What is up, Betterment family, and welcome to Better Daily Live. I'm your host, Alex Van Houten, and I'm super excited about today. Today is Nutrition Tip Tuesday, and today we're going to be talking about ginger. Woo! And the crowd goes wild. Or at least, if you know how awesome ginger is, you should be going wild about it. First, I do want to read to you a review from one of our awesome listeners on the Better Daily podcast launched last week. Thank you guys so much for taking the time to go review that on Apple Podcasts. Those of you who are here in the Better Daily app with me, you guys get this content live and you get it several weeks in advance. However, those who are listening to us out in the public sphere on Apple Podcasts and wherever you listen to podcasts, really, that I appreciate you guys taking the time to write a review. And if you do write a review, please, and I mention it here on the show, please shoot me an email at coachal@betterdaily.live. I have something special to send you. Good morning, Robin. Good morning, KT. We're going to be talking about ginger. So the review is pretty awesome. Kita Carissa says, powerful, positive, and uplifting. Surround yourself with like-minded individuals committed to shaping a better future for their personal health and fitness for the long haul with the perspective of making small incremental changes daily. Coach Alex puts his considerable experience to work, helping you to be better daily. Thank you for that awesome review, Kita Carissa, and shoot me an email at coachal@betterdaily.live. I have something special for you. So, Nutrition Tip Tuesday, we are diving into ginger. Ginger is actually one of my favorite foods on the whole entire planet for a number of reasons, which I'll list here. And many people don't actually consume ginger regularly. Is anybody in the live comments, let me know, are you eating ginger? And how do you eat it? That's what I would love to know. If you're eating ginger, how do you eat it? How do you consume it? So ginger is a powerful, powerful food. In fact, I'm loath to call things superfoods because it's often an overblown marketing scheme. But you're not seeing many commercials about ginger. KT says, I only eat ginger at your house. Robin says, no, I'm not eating ginger right now. So this will be really good. I think you'll enjoy this. But you don't see commercials about ginger. You know, when you're waiting for your YouTube video to load or whatever and an ad pops up, it's very rarely, and it's not very rarely, it's never, I've never seen a ginger commercial. There should be ginger commercials in the world. I don't know who's doing the marketing for ginger, but they need to get on it because ginger is amazing. Now, ginger has been studied in a bunch of different avenues. One particularly awesome study that I've cited before in my podcast work, you might have heard me talk about it here in the Better Daily application, is relevant specifically to men. So there's a very powerful study done on men who are wrestling with fertility issues. They're trying to have kids and they can't have kids. And so it's really a struggle for them. They're also seeing their testosterone numbers are lower than they'd like them to be to help them with fertility. And so what the researchers did is had them consume ginger. Now, in this particular study, it's really hard to find the amount of ginger, which we'll talk about in a bit. But consuming ginger daily over a 6-week period raised these gentlemen's testosterone 19%. That's huge. That's 1/5 of their testosterone and added 1/5, 19%. That's a big deal given that you just consume ginger. No other changes were made. They weren't told to exercise. They weren't told to change their protein intake. They weren't told to get more sleep. It was just ginger. So gentlemen, if you're not taking ginger, you would like a little boost to your testosterone, especially in this season. Testosterone actually goes down usually in the low vitamin D months. So October through February here in the Northern Hemisphere, your testosterone follows your vitamin D. So as your vitamin D starts to come down, your testosterone could come down too, which could lead to depression, muscle loss, fat gain, all kinds of fun stuff that isn't really fun. So you might want to add some ginger to your diet. Another thing ginger's been studied for is antibacterial and antiviral properties. So when you consume ginger, in preparation for a sick season, like what we're going into the winter. We're going into flu season. We're going into cold season. Some of you may or may not have already wrestled with COVID, but we're going into that season, whereas your vitamin D drops makes you a little more susceptible from an immune perspective to the pathogens that are around you. And we might be getting together with family members from all over the place exposed to fun pathogens and stuff. And so consuming ginger on a regular basis is pretty powerful because it has antiviral and antibacterial properties. Now, we know that in studies where we take, a petri dish and we cultivate bacteria, or we mix the actual polyphenols from ginger with viruses and see what happens. And generally, there's a whole bunch of compounds in ginger, but the polyphenols, specifically, are really good at breaking down unwanted bacterial membranes and are also good at eliminating some of those viral spike proteins and whatnot that can cause problems in your immune system and cause things like colds and whatnot. So I'm not saying ginger will fix you, but ginger's been used as a home remedy for many, many years with regard to things like elderberry syrup. So my wife makes elderberry syrup. I don't know if you've heard that elderberry can be powerful and good for you, but most of the time elderberry syrup has a large amount of ginger in it. And then if you go through the drugstore aisles and stuff, things that claim to be immune boosting, most of them will have ginger in them. In their proprietary blends, you'll find ginger root or ginger extract. Another thing that ginger does for individuals is it speeds gastric emptying. I know that's a big word. It means that if you have digestive problems, perhaps your body's having a hard time churning through your foods, perhaps indigestion is something you wrestle with on a regular basis, consuming ginger can actually help that process. It can be powerful and helpful to your microbiome, but it can also help your digestive system to move things along a little better. And that's a powerful property of ginger as well. Now, they're currently studying anti-cancer properties of ginger, and we can't claim yet that ginger cures cancer, but what we can do is we see, for instance, in mice that consume ginger, they tend to grow fewer tumors than mice who don't consume ginger. And so I know that mice and men are not the same thing, but that's very promising. It's very interesting to think that just by adding a food to your life, that you could be bolstering your body against the cancers or tumors that may or may not be a part of your future if you weren't consuming that food. And you might not know this, but this is a weird thing to say, so hang with me. There's actually a lot of science here that's worth talking about. But your body's regularly fighting off cancers. Even if the cancer itself is not big enough to be detected or big enough to cause problems, cancer is simply cells that have gone haywire, might be the best way to put it. Your own cells that have, instead of dying like they're supposed to at the end of their life cycle, they grow exorbitantly and they start taking on properties that aren't good. And so your body actually has a mechanism for handling those minute, microscopic, small cancer episodes inside of you and bolstering that process, bolstering your immune system and giving your body some help, some reinforcements on that front can be really helpful for your overall health and fitness. Now, I've talked a lot about ginger. Hopefully I've convinced you that it's worth adding to your diet in whatever amount you're willing to add it. And some people would be like, hey, okay, cool. I'd love all the benefits, but I don't really like the taste of ginger. My wife would be one of those people. And so she would prefer to consume it in capsules. And you can get ginger supplements like dried and powdered, and they go in these little capsules that would degrade in water and let the ginger powder go. You might burp ginger if you take those capsules or too many of them. And so that's one way you can consume ginger. In my house, I tend to prefer to consume it one of two ways. The first way I like to consume ginger is I actually buy the root at the grocery store. You can find it in the produce aisle. And I mean, it's just a root. It looks like there's nothing special. It's brown. It's got like a white inside. And what I like to do is I'll brew some green tea. I use my coffee pot without any coffee in it and just get the hot water. I pour the hot water into a cup with a green tea bag. And then I will take a slicer, or you can use a knife, and slice it in really thin slices, about 2 to 3 pieces of ginger off of the ginger root. And I'll just throw it in my tea and let it steep with my tea bag. And what that does is all of the polyphenols and the good compounds in ginger that cause positive benefits, they infuse in the tea. And when I sip my tea, there you go. It's especially a nice treat if you enjoy tea to do it with peppermint, because peppermint's got that menthol, that little, I don't know if you want to call it a burn. It's like a cool burn going down. ginger also has its own burn. So it's like double burn. So if you like it in a cold morning with a warm thing of tea that kind of burns going down, it kind of burns in a good way if you like that sort of thing. If you don't like that sort of thing, don't do it this way. I'm not telling you have to. So that's my personal favorite way to consume ginger. It's a good way to do things there. And then also for a post-workout snack or during hikes or that sort of thing, candied ginger is so good, man. Candied ginger is basically ginger chunks that have been dried with a bit of sugar added to them. And I know, sugar's bad, super scary, don't do that too much. It's not a lot of sugar. Candied ginger is not a whole bunch of sugar. I don't recommend popping candied ginger in the morning with breakfast. I recommend it as a part of your active post-workout or intra-workout nutrition. So those are my two favorite ways to consume ginger. And it looks like not many of our live people are consuming ginger right now. So I hope you guys will give that a shot. The other way I've heard of consuming ginger, and I do this sometimes, but I don't have a juicer, is making ginger juice. So you actually have to peel it. You have to get the root peel off of the ginger because that doesn't grind very well. It's got some rough fibers in it, that if you consume it, you'll end up getting them stuck in the back of your throat and stuff. But if you peel it and then juice it, if you're using a juicer, I heard you can also use a powerful blender. I have not played that game yet, so if somebody wants to play that game, tell me how it goes. And you can get the juice from the ginger. You can drink that like a healthy shot of awesome. And so you can do that as well. It does burn going down. You can buy those at the grocery store right now, I believe, right next to kombucha or in the produce area. You can buy them as little shots, but it's a little more cost effective to buy the root and make your own juice if that's something you're interested in. But these are all different ways that you can experiment with adding ginger to your diet. It's helpful and positive, especially during these winter months, to boost your immune system. If you're a guy, boost your testosterone, and whether you're a guy or a girl, give your body an opportunity to be a little better from an immune response, knocking out bacteria and viruses. So support your digestive tract, get some ginger in your system, and tell me how it goes. It's something that you can do daily. It's not like a vitamin that you can overdose on. And I would love to hear whether or not you enjoyed adding ginger or giving that a shot this week. Guys, that's your Nutrition Tip Tuesday. Thank you so much for joining me here in Better Daily. This has been Alex Van Houten. Until next time, it's just 1%. You got this.
Thank you for joining us for your 1% Better today. Don't forget to subscribe for the podcast. Leave us a raving review to tell others how Better Daily has helped you in your journey. If you want more Better Daily, download our app and join our Betterment family at betterdaily.live. Use code POD to get 25% off your subscription. That's POD, all caps, to save 25% on your subscription. We all have a cross to carry. It's later when we do it together. Go to betterdaily.live today.